After the sheer terror this man had just witnessed, he refused to ever set foot in room 4 again. And that's exactly where the APRF is heading to now. Hello,
Hi, and welcome back to our channel.
and we return after a number of years with multiple temperature data loggers and environmental monitoring devices to see if we can find out just what is happening in room 4 of the Black Swan Hotel. The Black Swan is a former coaching inn and overlooks the central marketplace in Devizes in the southern county of Wiltshire, England. In the past, it has been used as a local courts of justice, and indeed the town gallows once stood in front of the Black Swan. It dates from 1732, although the cellars are believed to have been constructed in the 15th century. A number of tunnels run from one part of the cellar to several locations in Devizes, and these were believed to have been used by a local horse trader and alleged highwayman, Ambrose Saintsbury. His ghost has been seen in the cellar wearing a tricorn hat and sat atop his horse, which he often stabled in the cellar, along with a change of clothes to make a quick escape if needed. Tales abound of investigators being terrified by the sound of galloping horse hooves disappearing through the walls and out into the darkness of the tunnels beyond. The cellars are not accessible to the public nowadays due to alleged safety reasons, but we are here because of another ghost. The haunting of room 4 at the Black Swan has been well documented over the years. It is situated on the top floor to the left of the building when viewed from the street. Several guests have fled the room in terror during the middle of the night. Indeed, when we first visited in 2020, we were informed by the landlady at the time that only a few months previously a builder was staying in room 4 and witnessed the television turning itself on and off and a tall, dark, ghostly figure standing at the end of the bed. The man fled the room and refused to go back in. Moreover, staff had to go into the room to collect his belongings after finding him sat in the hallway, trembling with fear. Other guests have reported the feeling of being strangled during the night, but perhaps the most widely reported phenomena is that of sudden, inexplicable temperature drops and the seeing of a ghost of a young woman who is believed to have perished in a fire in the room in the 1800s. Another story tells of a woman who lost her life during childbirth many years ago in the very same room. The ghostly figure is said to walk through the wall behind the bed and across to the window, where she sits mournfully gazing out at the market square below before making her silent return the same way she entered the room. Interestingly, this figure has most commonly been reported around 1:15 a.m. People from other countries who had no prior knowledge of the haunting of room 4 have reported very similar phenomena: the bed shaking, taps inexplicably turning on, and even the toilet flushing, but most commonly the sudden drops in temperature. When we first visited in 2020, we ourselves encountered something very strange in room 4. Whilst we experienced no apparent phenomena during our stay, the temperature data logger we placed in the room painted a slightly different story. Here we see a graph of the temperature in room 4 of the Black Swan during our stay in October 2020. As expected, there was an overall trend of about 1 degree centigrade drop in temperature throughout the course of the night. What we were surprised to see, however, was the additional degree centigrade drop in temperature and back to normal, which occurred 6 times in 20 minutes, and a few times again sporadically throughout the night. We are still at a loss to be able to explain this. Hello everyone, Lisa and I are now in room 4 of the Black Swan, the infamous room 4, and before we go out for evening dinner we'd just like to show you some of the items of equipment we're going to be leaving running, and yeah, let's give you a quick tour. So we have a body camera and an EDI plus meter which is recording EMF, temperature, humidity, air pressure and vibrations, and another one on the radiator. This is the last day of May, so that radiator isn't on, by the way. We have on the top of each of the bedposts a thermometer data logger, so both of those are recording every, I think it's 10 seconds, they're taking a measurement every 10 seconds. We have a data logger on the middle of the bracket here, which is recording EMF, electric fields and any radio frequencies present. The male meter on the right and the radio frequency detector on the left aren't on at the moment. There's no real point of them being on while we're not in the room. What else do we have? Another EDI plus meter on the chair. We have our infrasound recorder, which will be recording while we're out. Just show you what it's been up to there. So yeah, we'll convert that to the spectrograph later on when we get back. We have a camera over in the far corner that's recording, obviously recording me at the moment. It's a lovely Lisa there. We have a video camcorder recording, I'll show you the view. This part of the room. A voice recorder that's backing up any of the audio for anything we may capture on film. We have another body camera here which is recording a wooden cross. Now some time ago a paranormal team did an experiment with a wooden cross. They drew a line around it and left it for a period of time, and when they came back they alleged that it had moved very slightly. We are near a road, so it could have been due to heavy traffic, a large lorry going by or something like that. But we've in our experiment we're using a vibration data logger so that if there is anything like that responsible, we can confirm that, hopefully using this little device. What else haven't we covered yet? We've got another temperature data logger there. And okay, we're going to go out for dinner now. And talking of temperature data loggers, while we're having dinner, we'll leave you with a little sciencey video. Enjoy. Temperature drops have often been associated with, and indeed experienced alongside, paranormal events. So let's take a brief look at this phenomena. When 1 cubic foot of air, that is, a volume of air measuring 1 foot long by 1 foot wide by 1 foot high, loses 1 degree Fahrenheit in temperature, it loses 13.95 foot-pounds of energy. This is the same amount of energy that is required to move a mass of 13.95 pounds by a distance of 1 foot. The amount of energy needed to do this is 18.914 joules. Now, if we assume in a hypothetical haunting a volume of air 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet, that's 64 cubic feet, loses 1 degree Fahrenheit in temperature per cubic foot, that equates to 1210.496 joules, or roughly 1.2 kilojoules. If we further posit that this relatively small volume of air measuring 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet loses 4 degrees Fahrenheit in temperature, which is only about 2.22 degrees centigrade, then we are talking about a thermal energy deficit of 4,841.984 joules, or roughly 4.8 kilojoules, for the volume of air in question. With 4.8 kilojoules of energy, a mass of approximately 102 kilograms, which is 225 pounds, can be raised to a height of 0.5 meters, which is 1.64 feet. When the object is lifted, it gains gravitational potential energy. So it's not such a big stretch of the imagination to consider there might be a relationship between sudden unexplained temperature drops experienced in hauntings and often subsequent phenomena such as crockery being thrown in the event of a poltergeist outbreak. Other events such as books flying off shelves require only a fraction of the energy expended in raising a 102 kilogram mass to a height of half a metre. Even some of the more violent phenomena associated with hauntings and involving heavier objects could derive their energy from the environment and might one day be explained using quantum physics. The law of conservation of energy asserts that energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only change form. Is this what is happening to facilitate some of the phenomena people claim to witness during a haunt experience? Well, at the moment no one knows. The mathematics we have just looked at stands for itself, but the thermal energy transfer theory is something that we and many other people consider a distinct possibility, but have to stress is not in any way a currently recognised scientific fact. Maybe one day science will be able to explain both the mechanisms at work during alleged haunt manifestations and indeed the catalysts that facilitate the many and varied experiences of people who can't all be imagining things.
We're back.
Hello again, and you join us in the function room of the Black Swan Hotel, known as the courtroom today, and with good reason, because hundreds of years ago it was used as the local court of justice.
Many people were sentenced in this room and they were taken outside to where the marketplace is today to meet their end on the gallows.
And so, if this room is emotionally charged, we'd like to put it to the test by conducting a Rowdive diode session here, and we'll get on with that now and see what happens. So we're in what was at one time the local courts of justice. Obviously a number of people, no doubt a good many people, were brought in here, and very shortly after met their end. Not very far from here actually, right outside the front of this building. If there is anybody that was sentenced a long time ago and you still remain here, please could you come towards me. You're completely safe. We mean you no harm, and we hope you mean us no harm. Please come towards me and speak in to this box I am holding. It will be able to hear you. If you have something you would like to say, this is your chance to say it. So I'll release the button now, and please come forward and speak to us. If there is anybody here who believes they were innocent and they were convicted wrongly, can you step forward and speak to us? Is there anything you would like to say? Some time ago, a television company came here. A few have actually, but a rather famous one did. Famous TV production crew. And there was a shelf at the end of the room there that no longer exists. And strangely enough, on that shelf, things would move during the night. If you are the spirit that used to move those objects, can you come forward towards me and speak into the box I'm holding? The shelf is no longer there. So, do you still feel drawn to this place? Do you have unfinished business? Is there something you want to say? Do you want to clear your name? Or is there a simpler message you'd like to give us? As far as the ghost in room 4 goes, there are a number of spirits alleged to haunt that room or remain in that room. One is a young woman who apparently died in a fire there, tragically, and another young woman, again tragically, who died in childbirth. In making this, we are not trying to make light of your situation, but if there is anything you would like to say, a story you would like to tell us about what happened, please, this is your chance. Do not be afraid of us. We will not hurt you. Come forward and just come close and speak into this box I'm holding. It will capture your words so that we can hear you and hopefully try to understand your situation. To the less than friendly entity that has been reported in room 4, making people feel terrified in the middle of the night by appearing as you do and have done as a tall, dark figure, making people feel like there are hands around their neck when they wake up in sheer fright. Is there anything you would like to say to us? Thank you for any spirits who have engaged with us. Again, we mean you no harm, so this is your final opportunity in this room to give us a message if you would like to. We will be reconvening later in room 4. If you feel more comfortable talking to us there, then please do so. We'll give you a short while here and we will wrap this session up. Thank you. To anybody listening at home, the Raudive diode is only able to record sound, or the device is only able to help record sound when the red button is being pushed in. It can only hear our voices then. When I release the red button, I only press it in when I'm talking. When I release the red button, it completely cuts off any sound in the room. So anything that's being recorded in between the button being pressed is obviously of extreme interest to us. So we'll wrap this session up now, and we'll produce the results, as always, in the findings and conclusions section at the end of the video.
Okay, so Wes has left me in the room on my own. I'm going to do a EVP session. Just ask a few questions, see what we get. Are there any spirits in the room with me? If there are you male or female? Maybe you'll find it easier to talk to Wes.
Are there any spirits in here with me? If there are, how old are you? Or how old were you when you died?
Did you come to harm in this room? Do you mean to scare people or cause them harm?
If there is somebody here with me, do you know that you are dead?
Do you feel trapped and need help to move on? Is there anything you want to say to me?
Is there something you would like us to help you with?
Can you make a knock or a bang? Let me know you're here.
If there is a spirit here and you need help and you are able to somehow, can you reach out and touch me? I don't mind. Just to let me know you are here.
I don't mean you any harm or want to scare you. If there's anything you want to say, you can tell me.
Do you want us to leave? If you are not here, then there will be nothing, and I've been waffling. So if there's nothing you wish to say, we'll end this session now and see what the rest of the night brings. The time is 1:05 a.m. Room 4 of the Black Swan Hotel. We've waited up on the basis that some people claim to have seen the ghost that's believed to haunt this room at 1:15 a.m. We don't know why this time is significant. Any voices you can hear are due to the windows being single pane / windows. We've checked them for drafts. There are no drafts coming through the window that can possibly cause any temperature changes. And while we're waiting here, what else can we say? We've measured the room and placed our temperature data loggers as wisely as we feel we can do. The ghost in room 4 or the main ghost, depending on your viewpoint, is said to appear at 1:15 a.m. So we've waited up. Any voices you can hear will be out in the street. The windows are single pane sash windows, and you can hear everything, every conversation that's going on out in the street. So any audio recorded in here we will have to treat with the utmost caution. But the ghost is said to appear at 1:15 a.m, so we will continue to record to that point and just beyond. The ghost of a young woman who is believed to have died in a fire here a few hundred years ago is said to walk through the wall from the right hand side of the screen as you are watching now, and sit somewhere along the front wall between the two windows at some point, and look mournfully over the market square, shortly thereafter returning along the same path from whence she came. Other guests in this room have experienced hands clasped around their neck at night and woken up not being able to breathe properly. In case the ghost appears after we've gone to sleep, we have a temperature data logger in the chair in the corner. That noise was the the handle on the bracket holding the camera. Yeah, we have a temperature data logger on the chair in the corner there, so it'd be interesting to see what the differences are throughout the room. We have 6 devices here capable of measuring temperature, and it'd be very interesting to see if we get any significant changes in any of those devices. What's the time nowadays?
1:14.
Okay, we're going to hand over to the infrared cameras now. Nothing was forthcoming at 1:15 a.m. unsurprisingly, so we'll let the static cameras take care of the rest of the night. Morning now, and we'll see you in the findings and conclusions section.
So, After a seemingly uneventful night, now begins the lengthy process of going through all of our audio, video and data logged evidence.
Like so many other former coaching inns and old taverns, the Black Swan has its fair share of history and ghost stories. Whilst these stories provide excellent entertainment, and indeed without them many investigators wouldn't have heard about certain locations, they can also be a source of frustration. Embellishments over the years, especially to much older stories, have undoubtedly twisted the narrative so much so that over time, the truth behind the original story, if there ever was any truth, is lost to time. People are having frightening haunt experiences, and probably always will. Many are just as scared of coming forward to relate their encounters as they are of the original occurrence. People who have never met and who have had no prior knowledge of a particular location's history are having broadly similar haunt experiences. We should be prepared to listen to them, because one day it could be one of us, stuck behind the door of room number 4. Hundreds of years ago, this room was used as the local courts of justice. Used for the local courts. Used as. Used as the local court of justice.
So, after a scene...
What really is happening at the Black Swan? Hang on, let's do it again, because people will...
have a look at... No.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back to our channel.
And we return with multiple temperature data loggers and items of...
Cars.
Shit.